Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Income Assistance Eligibility and Benefits webinar. We are Ask an Advocate, which is a website-based project created to help clients and service providers find information and resources about income assistance, disability, tenancy, and other income supports. Please remember that the information provided in this webinar will be applicable in British Columbia only. The Income Assistance Program is available through the Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction, and in this webinar, we will simply refer to them as the Ministry. Please keep in mind that the numbers discussed throughout this webinar are from the year 2020. Depending on when you are watching this, the Ministry may have made changes since the time this video was created. Please check the description of this video and we'll be sure to keep updated links of any changes that may apply to this webinar. For information on how to apply for income assistance, please watch our webinar on income assistance application or visit our website at askanadvocate.ca. In this webinar, we will briefly discuss an overview of the program, eligibility for income assistance, the application process, the employment plan requirement, how living arrangements affect eligibility, income and assets, medical benefits available through the ministry, general supplements and programs, hardship assistance, and lastly, how to appeal the ministry's decision. This webinar will be useful for anyone looking to apply for income assistance, advocates, social workers, or any other service provider assisting their client. In this section, we will go over the overview of the income assistance programs. The purpose of the Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction is to help individuals living in British Columbia achieve financial independence by providing a system of supports through the BC Employment and Assistance. Their main responsibilities include providing income and disability assistance to those in need, supplying employment programs and services to those who are unemployed or underemployed, supporting community living services that help families with individuals suffering from developmental disabilities develop connections and inclusion within their community, and supporting social innovation and entrepreneurship to improve communities in British Columbia. There are two legislative authorities that govern the BC Employment and Assistance Program. The first one is the Employment and Assistance Act and Regulation, which governs provision of income assistance, hardship assistance, and supplements. The second one is the Employment and Assistance for Persons with Disabilities Act and Regulation, which governs provision of disability assistance, hardship assistance, and supplements. For more information on the Ministry's regulations, please visit their website by clicking on the link in the description below. The Income Assistance Program is delivered by the Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction. There are three categories to the income assistance programs, which are regular income assistance, persons with persistent multiple barriers, and persons with disabilities. Regular income assistance is for those who are employable. Persons with persistent multiple barriers is for individuals with long-term barriers to employment, and persons with disabilities is available to individuals with long-term disabilities that affect daily living activities. The three categories of income assistance all have different benefits and exemptions. For example, on regular income assistance, the maximum benefit that a single person may be eligible for is $760, while the maximum benefit on persons with disabilities is $1,183.42. Similarly, a single person on regular income assistance is allowed to have a maximum asset of $5,000, whereas a single person on persons with disabilities is allowed to have a maximum asset of $100,000. Feel free to pause the video now and take a few minutes to go over the table shown on the screen. For more information on persons with persistent multiple barriers or persons with disabilities, please watch our other webinars or visit our website. In this section, we will briefly go over the eligibility requirements for income assistance. An applicant may be eligible for income assistance if they are out of work or not earning enough to meet basic needs, if they cannot work at all, if they urgently need food, shelter, or medical attention, or if they are waiting for other sources of money to arrive. The amount that the applicant may be eligible for will depend on the applicant's work history, residency, and family composition. This will be further explained later in this webinar. A family unit's net income may affect eligibility for income assistance, as the net income cannot be equal or more than the amount that the ministry would have given them. For example, a single person on income assistance is eligible for a maximum of $760. If their monthly income is already $1,000, they will not be eligible for income assistance. The next slide shows a benefits rate chart outlining the amount of assistance that an applicant may be eligible for. As shown on the table, a single person between the ages of 19 to 64 may be eligible for a maximum benefit of $760 per month. $375 is given towards the applicant's shelter cost, and $385 is given for support. It is important to remember that an applicant will only receive the shelter support of their assistance if they can show that they are currently paying actual shelter costs. This can be shown by giving the ministry a copy of their tenancy agreement, rental receipts, or anything else that shows a rental or shelter agreement. Feel free to pause the video here and take a few minutes to go over the rate chart. If you would like a copy of the table, click the link in the description below. When applying for income assistance, the applicant must be one of the following: either a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident, a refugee claimant, a dependent child, on a temporary resident permit, a removal order that has stayed or cannot be executed, or a protected person. An applicant may be exempt from the citizenship criteria if they have one or more dependent children who are Canadian citizens, if they are separated from an abusive spouse, have applied for permanent resident status, or cannot leave BC with a child because of family law issues or for a medical reason. The following categories of applicants may be deemed ineligible for assistance if they are illegally in Canada, if they are on a visitor's visa, foreign students, and temporary workers without a temporary resident permit, if they are subject to a removal order that is in force and cannot be revoked, or if their immigration status has not been confirmed. Applicants who are in a sponsorship agreement generally are not eligible for income assistance unless the sponsorship has been defaulted. When the applicant is approved for benefits while still under sponsorship, the ministry will inform the Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada so that the assistance issued is paid back. This will be in the form of a debt that the sponsor will have to pay back to the government. If the applicant is fleeing abuse from their sponsor, the sponsor will not be notified of the debt until it is safe to do so. An applicant under the age of 19 may be eligible to apply if they do not live with their parents and/or do not receive financial support from their parents. However, the Ministry of Children and Family Development will likely be involved since parents are seen as responsible for their children until they turn 19 years old. If an applicant lives on a reserve and needs assistance, they should contact their local band office or the Indigenous and Northern Affairs Canada. Applicants who are full-time students are not eligible for income assistance unless they have prior approval from the ministry. However, this policy does not apply to dependent children, recipients of disability assistance, or sole recipients of income assistance for at least 3 consecutive months who are approved under the Single Parent Employment Initiative. An applicant or recipient of assistance who does not comply with the ministry may face sanctions resulting in a rate reduction or ineligibility. Some reasons why the ministry may impose sanctions are failure to provide information or verification, inaccurate or incomplete reporting, failure to meet employment-related obligations or to comply with an employment plan, as well as not accepting income or assets or disposing of assets. The next few slides will briefly go over the application process for income assistance. For a detailed video on how to apply, please watch our webinar on income assistance application. When applying for assistance, the ministry will require certain documents, and some of those are the applicant's social insurance number, identification for the applicant and their dependents, proof of rent and utilities costs, most recent bank profile and bank statements for at least 60 days, tax assessments, and more. It is important to remember that since applicants are allowed to have assets up to a certain amount, should not wait until they are completely out of money to apply for assistance. Additionally, the income assistance application may take up to 4 weeks to process. Therefore, if the applicant meets all other eligibility requirements and are within their asset limit, they can apply for assistance. The application for assistance starts with creating an account through MySelfServe at myselfserve.gov.bc.ca. If an applicant cannot complete the online application on their own, they can contact the ministry at 1-866-866-0800 to complete the application over the phone, go to their local ministry office, or seek help of an advocate. The benefits of the MySelfServe online application are It creates and tracks service requests. The applicant can monitor and sign employment plans through the account. The applicant can submit monthly reports through the account, and the applicant will be notified when their next payment check will be issued. Additionally, since it is an online system, applicants will not have to wait on the phone to speak with the ministry regarding their application, as they can see the status simply by logging on. The ministry is committed to providing accommodation to clients for needs related to the grounds protected under the Human Rights Code. This means that there are procedures that the ministry must follow to accommodate applicants who have certain barriers, and some examples of this are providing interpretation services, giving extra time to collect documents, providing information in writing, providing applicants a computer at the ministry office or a code to register through My Self-Serve, as well as to address applicants with their desired name or pronoun. After an applicant has applied for assistance, they should get a call from the ministry within 5 to 10 business days. Those with immediate needs should get a call within 1 to 3 business days. It may be helpful to start collecting the documents that the ministry will need while waiting for them to call you, as this may reduce the processing time. The approximate wait time to be approved for income assistance is usually 2 to 4 weeks, and collecting documents in a timely manner may speed up the application process. All documents may be submitted by uploading them on the My Self-Serve account or by dropping them off at the local ministry office. The streamlined application is for those who are former recipients of income assistance or disability assistance. They must have received benefits at least once within the past 6 months. Instead of going through the 2-stage regular income assistance application online, the ministry may simply ask them to complete a monthly report to determine whether they are eligible. If applicants believe they fit the criteria for a streamlined application, they should contact the ministry. In this section, we will go over the Income Assistance Employment Plan. Applicants of income assistance are required to complete an employment plan. This is a 21-day work search program to demonstrate that they are actively seeking to become financially independent. For an applicant under the age of 19, the employment plan focuses on completing high school. If an applicant does not comply with the employment plan, their assistance may be reduced or even discontinued. The Work BC centers assist clients to look for and apply for work. The form shown on the screen is the Work Search Activities Record, where applicants are required to document all the places where they have attempted to search for employment. This form is available on the ministry's website or on the applicant's My Self-Serve account during the application process. All new applicants and former recipients of income assistance are required to complete the work search, which may last up to 21 days or 3 weeks. Some applicants may be exempt from completing the work search if they are fleeing an abusive spouse or relative, if they are a single parent with a child under 3 years old, if they have a physical and/or mental condition that prevents the individual from looking for work, if they are a person with disabilities or has a dependent with disabilities they look after, if they are 65 years or older, and much more. The ministry will assess an applicant's living arrangement to determine their eligibility for assistance and the amount that they may be eligible for. In this section, we will go over the different types of living arrangements. A family unit is defined as an applicant and his or her dependents. The dependent can be the applicant's dependent child or the applicant's spouse. The ministry considers 2 people to be spouses if they are married, declare they are in a marriage-like relationship, or they meet all of the following criteria. They've resided together for at least 12 consecutive months, so they are on the same tenancy agreement, for example. They demonstrate financial dependence, as in they share the same bank account, and demonstrate social and familial interdependence, as in they're each other's emergency contact. If the applicant is living with someone else, but not in a marriage-like relationship, there are multiple ways they can prove that they are roommates and prevent the ministry from suspicions of fraud. Some of these are that the applicant should have separate tenancy agreements, the applicant may want to pay rent directly or separately to the landlord, the roommates should have separate bedrooms, the applicant should have a written agreement to split utility costs, and the applicant should not have a joint bank account or credit card with their roommate, combine their incomes, pay each other's bills, or insure each other's vehicles. When an applicant lives in a room and board situation, the ministry may issue the smaller portion of the actual cost of the room and board and a specified monthly support allowance. or the sum of the applicable shelter and support allowances for the family unit size. For an example of room and board, a single parent of one dependent child is paying $500 in room and board. They would receive the lesser of the following. $500 is room and board and a comfort allowance of $60 for client and $40 for the dependents, which would be $600. The maximum amount for a single parent on income assistance is $1,095.58. The client would only receive $600 a month. In this section, we will go over how income and assets affect eligibility. When an applicant or recipient of income assistance declares that they are receiving income from other sources, the income will be classified as either earned or unearned income. Earned income can be one of the following: money received from working, pension plan contributions that are refunded, and money received from providing room and board or providing rent at the applicant's residence. Unearned income is any income that is not earned. Some examples of unearned income are money, annuities, stocks and bonds, tax refunds, employment insurance, old age security, guaranteed income supplement and Canada Pension Plan, trust or inheritance, and more. For a complete list of unearned income, please refer to the ministry's website. Some earned and unearned income are exempt and do not affect an applicant or recipient's eligibility. Some examples of exempt income are GST, children tax benefit, child support, and more. For a full list of exempt income, please refer to the ministry's website. Recipients of income assistance can still work while receiving benefits. However, they have a limit on the amount they may earn before money is deducted from their monthly benefits. This is called an earnings exemption and assessed monthly. For example, a single person between the age of 19 to 64 is allowed a monthly earning exemption limit of $400. If the recipient earns more than their allowable earning exemption, the additional amount they earn will be deducted dollar for dollar from their next month's benefits check. For example, if a single individual aged 30 on income assistance earns $600 per month, the first $400 is exempt, but the other $200 will be deducted from their income assistance check of $760. This means the individual will only receive $560 from the ministry. One of the eligibility criteria for income assistance is that an applicant must be below their asset limit for their family unit. An asset is defined as an equity in property, investments, cash, and more. The table on the screen shows the asset limit for income assistance based on a family unit. For example, a single parent with one child is allowed to have an asset of up to $10,000 without their eligibility being affected. Feel free to pause the video and take a few minutes to familiarize yourself with the table. There are some assets that are considered exempt and do not affect an applicant's eligibility. Some of these assets are clothing and necessary household equipment, a family unit's place of residence if they can prove that they live in it, a tax refund, child tax credit, universal child care benefit, BC early childhood tax benefit, and more. For a full list of assets, please refer to the ministry's website. A monthly report, or a stub, is a form that all income assistance recipients need to complete and submit by the 5th of the month if there are changes to their living or financial situation. Some of the things that should be reported on the monthly report are the recipient's income, assets, shelter information, dependents, employments, or other benefits. The changes that are reported on the form are for the previous month. For example, if an income assistance recipient's income changed within the month of August, they need to report it by the 5th of September. In this section, we will go over the medical benefits available for those on income assistance. There are certain medical benefits that are available for income assistance recipients, and these are medical coverage through Medical Services Plan, pharmacare for medication coverage. For the medications that are not covered, doctors may be able to request special authority for additional coverage. Plan G is also available for those living with mental illness. The applicant must be registered with a mental health service center and requires psychiatric medication. Some additional medical benefits that are available are basic dental coverage, basic medical, prescription drugs, optical supplements, diet supplements, natal supplement, alcohol and drug supplement, tube feeding supplement, short-term nutritional supplement, and emergency dental supplements. In this section, we will go over the general supplements and programs available to income assistance recipients. Once approved, there are many supplements available to assist income assistance recipients. Some of these supplements are Crisis Supplement, Christmas Supplement, Camp Fee Supplement, Confirmed Job Supplement, Supplement to assist with funeral costs, Guide and Service Dog Supplement, Moving Supplement, Prenatal Shelter Supplement, Replacement of Check, School Startup Supplement, Security and Pet Damage Deposits, and more. For a detailed list of the supplements available, please refer to the ministry's website. To qualify for a crisis supplement, the applicant must meet all of the following requirements. The crisis is unexpected cost, or the applicant needs to purchase an item unexpectedly. The applicant does not have money available to pay for the item cannot be obtained from other sources, and that the item is needed right away. In addition to the requirements above, the applicant must demonstrate that the need is significant to the extent that not receiving it will lead to danger of their physical health or removal of a child. There are 3 types of crisis supplements. There is the food crisis supplement, and the ministry may be able to issue up to $40 per person per month. There is the clothing crisis supplement, and the ministry may be able to issue $100 per person per year. However, the ministry can only issue a maximum of $400 per year for a family unit of 4 or more. In addition to this, there is a shelter crisis supplement, and the ministry may be able to issue an amount up to the maximum combined shelter and support rates, plus the following actual amounts that the family unit is eligible to receive. And that would come from Shared Parenting Assistance, Prenatal Shelter Supplement, CIC Temp Absence Assistance, and Deceased Adjustment Supplement. It is important to remember that the crisis supplements do not have to be paid back to the ministry. The ministry may be able to help an income assistance recipient secure housing by paying their security deposit, also known as the damage deposit, if the tenancy is covered by the Residential Tenancy Act or is a co-op housing. To request the deposit, the individual must complete an intent to rent form and submit it to the ministry. There is no maximum number of security deposits that can be issued at a time. However, they must be paid back to the ministry in the form of a $20 deduction on each assistance check. It is important to remember that a security deposit may not be given after the recipient moves into their new residence. Additionally, the security deposit cannot exceed more than half a month's rent. The ministry may be able to issue pet security deposits if the tenancy is covered by the Residential Tenancy Act or is co-op housing. To request the pet deposit, the individual must complete an intent to rent form and submit it to the ministry. There is no maximum number of pet deposits that can be issued at a time. If an applicant has already moved to a residence, they can request the pet deposit with the landlord's approval. Additionally, a pet security deposit cannot exceed more than half a month's rent, and the applicant must agree to a repayment plan of $20 per month. If a security and pet deposit are requested at the same time, the repayment amount will still be $20 per month. The next slide goes over the ministry's hardship assistance. When an individual completes an income assistance application, if they face the following circumstances, the ministry may be able to provide hardship assistance while they resolve the issues. They need to be able to prove their identity. That is, they do not have any identification and may need to apply for ID replacements. They are in immediate need. They are not able to provide sponsorship information. They are waiting for income from another source. For example, they have applied to employment insurance and are waiting for a decision. They have income in excess. They have assets in excess. Or they are facing a strike or lockout at work. It is important to remember that if hardship is issued to an applicant, they may need to pay it back. For the last section of the webinar, we will go over the appeal process for a ministry's decision. There are multiple reasons why an income assistance applicant or recipient can submit a reconsideration, and these are if the applicant was denied assistance or supplement, if their assistance or supplement was discontinued or reduced, if the amount of the supplement they were given was less than the maximum or the least expensive to get, and lastly, if it is regarding a decision respecting conditions or non-compliance. When an applicant is denied assistance or a supplement, they can either accept the decision and reapply, or they can appeal the ministry's decision by submitting a request for reconsideration package, also known as an appeal package. This is the first stage of the appeal process, and the applicant has 20 business days to submit the reconsideration. To receive a reconsideration package, the applicant must contact a local ministry office. When preparing a request for reconsideration, the applicant can add any additional information or evidence that they believe will support their case or argument. If the applicant needs additional time to complete their reconsideration, they may request an additional 10 business day extension. During the appeal process, if the applicant needs financial support, they can request an appeal supplement from the ministry. However, it is important to remember that if the applicant gets denied their appeal, they may need to pay back the supplement. When a request for reconsideration is submitted, the ministry has 10 business days to make a decision and inform the applicant. To be eligible for the appeal supplement, the applicant must show that it is being requested for a decision that discontinued or reduced the applicant's assistance. The supplement is also limited to the amount that was discontinued or reduced and must be repaid if the final decision is to deny the applicant's appeal. For example, if a single person applied for income assistance and was denied, they may request an appeal supplement of $760, which is the maximum amount of assistance they would have been eligible for. However, if the ministry's final decision is to still deny the applicant, the full $760 must be paid back to the ministry. If an income assistance applicant is denied at the reconsideration level, they have the opportunity to proceed to the tribunal level. This is the second level of the appeal process, and the tribunal must be requested within 7 business days of receiving the decision on the reconsideration. The tribunal can either be in person, written, or through a teleconference. The choice is up to the individual. Once the ministry receives a request for a tribunal, they have 7 to 15 business days to schedule a tribunal depending on the type of tribunal requested. During the tribunal, applicants can bring new evidence in addition to the ones submitted at the reconsideration stage to support their case. Once the tribunal is held, the ministry has 5 business days to decide on the applicant's eligibility. If the applicant had requested an appeal supplement and they are deemed eligible at the tribunal stage, they do not need to repay back the supplement. However, if they lose at the tribunal stage, they must pay the full appeal supplement back. In summary, an individual has 20 business days from the date they are informed of their denial to submit a request for reconsideration with an additional 10 business day extension if needed. If the request for reconsideration is denied, the individual can either accept the decision, appeal the decision through the tribunal process, or reapply for income assistance or the supplement. If the individual is unsuccessful at the tribunal stage, the appeal supplement will have to be repaid. Thank you for watching, everyone. Feel free to browse through other webinars and provide us feedback by clicking on the survey link in the description below.